Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various wins for the African Wilds tournament here in Golf Clash the game. And what I mean with various wins is that you will see tailwinds only here in this playthrough, but it will not just be the straight up tailwind, it could be whatever win that you have a tailwind component included. Make sure to scan the QR code here on the screen to get the best guides on the market. We do offer Pro Expert and Master Division tournament guides for the 9-hole cups and the 18-hole tournaments. We also have tour guides for those that do play Tour 7 up to Tour 13. Hit the thumbs up button, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss a video here on the channel. Info box on the right hand side, as per usual, to give you the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. On hole number 1, if we do have a straight tailwind here and have a club that do have 6 bars of topspin or more, you can get your ball to be close to green. But if you do play with lower level clubs, that's not going to be a possibility. Then we're going to have to lay up on the right hand side or the left hand side, where I do recommend to lay up on the right hand side to have a more open shot toward green. Now you can see me messing around a little bit with the camera. That's not really my intention, but I accidentally just got moved out into the rocks, forest and everything like that. We're gonna play with all the side spin that we can and some top spin. Adjust this max plus 10. And I'm playing with the quarterback to keep the accuracy, which will help me if I do hit a great ball. And also that we don't really need power. We do have tailwind on all the shots, or at least the drive is going to have tailwind. Now, we got a very long drive, which is perfect. 298 yards. Now we're going to play a short iron on the second shot. And this one is a little bit tricky, mainly as we do not have a fully developed ball guideline. So we're going to have to try to estimate if we're aiming at the hole or not. And that's the difficult part with a shot like this. And you have heard me say that so many times in the rookie playthroughs, that that's the difficult part when you play in Rookie Division, especially with lower level clubs. And I would say that's definitely a massive advantage for those that do play with good clubs down into Rookie, that they could know in this instance if they aim at a hole or not, but we cannot really know that because we can only try to judge with our eyes in the best possible way and make an yes. 15% elevation, true club distance, gonna be somewhere between medium and maximum distance. Unfortunately, I do adjust a little bit too little, needed that extra 0.1, but that's something we can correct for the next time. Now when we know we are going to have a tailwind of T, it's going to be not a must, but we do have a good opportunity here to get ourselves to the second fairway. The drive is aggressive, but the thing that I want to do from the second fairway is that we then can attack the pin for an albatross, which we can't really do from the first fairway at all. So try to push the drive and be aggressive. Use a power 5 ball such as a berserker that you can win for free in the golden shot. And even if you would roll long into the rough or sand, there's still an easy save from there to get the eagle collected. But if you do have a good drive like I'm having here in the video, you will see me having then an opportunity of attacking the pin for an albatross. Now it's either going to be sniper or it's going to be a long iron, depending on how far you will roll with your drive. So here you can see in the end that I'm using the downslope with my backbone and the 3.6 topspin that I do have. And here, once again, I hate to say it, but having a good ball guideline such as a Grizzly 7+ or a high level B52 is such a massive advantage in a situation like this. Because here, it looks okay with the ball guideline, but you will notice that I come in way hot. So here, obviously, we don't need the 3.6 topspin. We maybe need 2 topspin instead. But that's somewhat impossible for me to know when we can't really read the ball guideline more than onto the fringe. Perfect ball, bounce on the fairway. You can see we hit the pin, but comes in way hot. But in the end, it's an opportunity on a very tough par 5. For hole number 3, you can play this par 3 in 2 different ways, really. One is to go for a rough bump, and I do believe that the rough bump is what would give you the best type of success. By aiming, obviously, with the bullseye centered into the rough ball guideline to hole, and then it's all about getting the correct adjustment. 10% elevation, and I'm playing this one medium distance for a 1-to-1 type of play. Katana to use all the side spin, which will help as well, otherwise we're going to have to aim too close to the sand, in my opinion. So Katana or a Kingmaker is the suggested ball. Comes down the hill, getting very unlucky, not dropping that one. But the rough bump is definitely the best for a drop. If you do not feel comfortable with the rough bump, you can use the fairway before the rough, bounce over that rough, get the ball to roll down. A little bit harder to control the speed in that way, but it will always be. For hole number 4, we are using our extra mile or any other club that gives us minimum 4.5 bars of topspin, and in this case 3 left spin as well, but that is controlled by the ball, so we're using a Katana or a Kingmaker. Medium distance, no elevation, aiming for the ball guideline straight down the fairway. Center the ball and hit perfect, and we're looking to get this ball as close to the green possible. You are probably a couple of people wondering, why am I not sending this one to green? The reason I'm not doing so is because I do need a little bit better topspin, or I do need a little bit better ball, and because I do not want to risk and gamble getting myself into the rough by the green, because then I'd rather take a short iron from fairway every single time. But there's definitely a possibility to get the ball to green. I just want to said. True club distance with no elevation here on the second shot, you're going to be somewhere between minimum and medium distance. Use 3 backspin, ball guideline to be at the hole if you do have the thorn level 7 plus, but if you do have the thorn in level 5 like I am, we should technically be aiming a little bit shorter, and I am a little bit lucky to actually drop this one when it comes in as hot as it does. Adjustment is not going to be much. Adjust with a 3.6 miles per hour, center the ball and hit perfect, and again take a look at the speed that the ball comes in with, and that's going to be something we're going to have to correct for the next time, or we might be unlucky the next time and bounce at the pin out. On hole number 5, this is probably one of my least favorite par 3s in the whole game, and the reason for that is due to all the bumpy parts that we are having. It's like it's impossible to avoid it either with the, I mean, we can avoid it with the first bounce, but then we won't avoid it with the second and the third bounce, and if we avoid it with the second bounce, we don't avoid it with the first and the third bounce, etc. So this is going to be a little bit, it's always going to be some type of luck if we are dropping a par 3, but this in particular is definitely giving us a little bit more of luck, or like we need more luck to get this one drop. 10% elevation, true club distance, bounces on the fairway up towards the pin, getting it to miss on the left side here, and we need to correct that one obviously for the next time, but in the end a safe birdie. On hole number 6, here we are going to do our absolute very best to carry over the rough and the sand. Luckily, we do always have tailwind in the tournament, so that's never going to be an issue. A P3 ball is definitely to recommend, because using a P2, P1 or P0 ball, that's going to be a little bit of a stretch, and you're going to have to go with max overpower all the time. Max plus 10 as the adjustment, and again, I'm keeping the P3 ball, doing a controlled drive up to be centered on the fairway. On the second shot, I'm using my sniper, and the sniper here is going to be very close to min club. in this instance. But as we do have tailwind, we need to push up, otherwise we're going to adjust down into min. So somewhere between min and medium distance of your club is what you're going to be, and so you judge accordingly and use your club distance together with no elevation for the best possible chance. Have in mind here that the green slopes downhill and will come in too hot if you're not compensating for that, meaning that use backspin, leave the ball guideline slightly short to allow the ball to drop if it comes in with the correct direction. Perfect ball it is, bounces on the fairway and down the green. You can see here now that even though that the speed is actually kind of fine, it's still rolling and rolling and rolling, and we end up with a semi-long putt in the end. And we obviously want to be a little bit closer because those semi-long putts are definitely a bit stressful. Hole number 7, we play somewhat massively downhill. From the front tee, it's not that bad compared to the second and the third tee, but it's still going to be difficult. And here we do have the same type of problem that we do have on hole number 5, which is that we do have a very bumpy fairway with our first bounce, and if we don't have a bumpy fairway there, we do have it on the second bounce instead. And backspin, try to aim at a hole, which is difficult obviously with a ball guideline that is not really fully developed. Adjust medium distance plus 20, and you can see here as well that I'm playing with a marlin ball. You may wonder why a marlin ball. It's because I do not want to pull into min club. We are already close to min club, and using a P2 or a P3 ball, then that's going to be too close, and we're going to pull into that min line, especially playing in all tailwinds. But using a navigator could be a suggestion as well, but the tailwind can't be too strong for that either, because then we're gonna pull into min club as well. Tough par 3, but I would say it's a makeable one if you do get your aiming correct. Hole number 8 is going to be very simple, because now we are going to be able to ping the ball to green in regardless what type of tailwind angle we're having. We have been dependent on having a tailwind angle to get the ball to green. So whenever you have had headwind and stuff, then you would have to lay up. But that's not going to be the case in this tournament to come, because we're always going to have tailwind. So stretch out to max, use 4.5 bars of topspin, 1 right spin. Try to estimate where the ball guideline will take the ball. And once you have adjusted, don't push up to max, because you do want to utilize the slow needle, which happens if you are using overpower when your target is not at max club. You can play with a P4 or a P5 ball for an even slower needle than that, but I mean, if you want, use a Titan and keep it to that, and then you don't have to really spend any of the. On the drive, you can see me playing an NMT, but I'm actually doing a bit more than so, which is that I'm not even doing an adjustment. So I'm just leaving the target where it is and using outside wall right curl to push the ball a little bit more right. Max overpower to try to reach as far down the fairway possible. I want to avoid having to play this play with a P5 ball or a P4 ball for that matter. I want to keep myself being able to play with the Titan. There's a lot of room on that fairway, so even if you do hit great left or great right, you will still be fine. Second shot, we're doing a rough bump, and for those that do not feel comfortable with rough bump, this is a very, very safe rough bump, as you do have a lot of rough to play on. You can see here that you do have more than 5 rings towards the nearest bunker, and you do have a good 1.5 ring up, which means that you would have to use a lot of overpower to be able to miss that rough. Aiming slightly through the hole, as we do bounce where it's slightly uphill. We don't want, we don't want the ball to fall short. No elevation in its true club distance. Judge that correct, and you're going to have a good chance for a drop here from distance. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division, the African Wilds Tournament, Tailwind only modifier. As I said in the beginning, you can have whatever tailwind that is possible, meaning that you can have a lot of crosswind, just that there is a tiny bit of a tailwind component, or you can have a straight tailwind. And that's going to be super interesting to see what we can do with those winds. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about that modifier. Also scan the QR code here on the screen, or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashhomie and sign up for the ultimate tournament guides. We are doing pro, expert and master as per usual for the 18-hole tournaments. We obviously do have tour guides as well. Thank you once again. Good luck in your Golf Clash game.